Yo, today I'm going to tell you guys the top 6 reasons why I'm not as successful in my life as I should be. And it's probably affecting you the same. I'm going to give you the full quant of how it is and how it works. Yo, what's up everybody? How you doing? This is your coach Renz, and I want to thank everybody. I'm going to take about 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes of your time just to break down in general the 6 things that has kept me from being as successful in life throughout my life as I possibly could have been, and has kept me from being in the position that I truly want to be in right now in my life. All right, so first let me explain the full quant. The full quant of life for me, and the thing about it is that most people, only about 5 to 6% of people ever truly understand this and reach the higher levels of this understanding. But the full quant is your relationships, your finances, your power, your health, and your spirituality. And all that's the full quant of life. You get those in those 5 areas. I'm going to talk about 6 things that have kept me from being as successful. Yes, I've achieved certain success in my life. I've elevated my life in certain ways. But when I look back and see where the opportunities that I've had, where I was, whom I was around, the things that were presented to me, when I look back and see why I didn't maximize those opportunities, why I haven't maximized my life, my health, my spirituality, my power, my personal power, why I haven't maximized my relationships, why I haven't maximized in business, I'm going to break these things down and give you a couple of key examples within each one of them. So I'm going to start with the one that for me has the least amount of impact, and then to the one that has the most impact in my life. And I'm pretty sure this can work somewhere within you guys' life as well. Now, I can go so deep on this that it will take me hours to do it. So briefly, let me break down the quant. The quant is your relationships, not just your romantic, but your family relationship, how you relate to yourself, how you relate to everything, but relationships, finances, how you handle your money, how you handle your finances. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter how many zeros is at the end of it. How you handle your money is directly affects every aspect of your life. Your personal power. Your personal power, that confidence, that knowingness within yourself that allows you to be able to grow and become whatever it is you choose. Your health. How healthy are you? How well are you taking care of your body? How well are you taking care of your mind? What's your mental health? What's your physical health? What's the health of your relationship? The health of your business? The health of your life? What's your health? And then your spirituality. Whether you believe in whatever belief you have, whether it's traditional religions, whether it's metaphysical, whether you have no deities, but you just understand science and energy, then whatever your spirituality is, whatever it is, you recognize that thought has energy, thought has aspects of it of matter, that, you know, everything exists. Yes, you know, I studied hermetics, alchemy, and so many other things, but understanding how to fully encapsulate all of those into a quant of being at the extended master level, or the guru level, or at least at a master's level. But most people are in the categories of being a slave to these things, being a servant to these things. Some people are adept to them, and very few become masters, even fewer becomes gurus over it, and very few ever become ascended masters. These are the people at the top of any of these any of the quants. But the more you combine these, the higher up the quant you go. And of course, there's that 5% that's just completely invisible. They're at the bottom of the rung. I'll break that down in a later video into more detail. But first, let's get into these 6 things that tell me why I'm not as successful as I should have been. The 6th one, and this is the least impactful one, but late to industry. There's so many times that I've seen opportunities early, but I waited. I've seen the possibilities early, but I waited. I've seen the challenges early, but I waited. In a relationship, you see the opportunity to become great in a relationship early, but then you don't do it. You come to it late, trying to then make it great. Or you see that you need to remove yourself early, but you procrastinate and you get out of it late. I got into different industries late. When I got out of the Marine Corps, it would have been better in 1998 for me to get into IT than waiting another 2.5 years before I got involved in IT. And by the time I got involved, the bubble had burst and I didn't have as much experience, but I was still able to maintain until I decided to leave. But if I had joined in at that aspect, I would have had a stronger foothold. At the same thing when I'm getting into popcorn. Although I've been doing this since 2012, I should have got started in 2009. right? Should have got started in 2009. And I know people say, well, you know, it's for a purpose, it's for a reason. No, we're going to talk about purpose and reasons and, you know, entities having plans for you. We're going to talk about that one on a different video. But the thing about it is you make your plans, you make your decisions, you decide. But many people got into the housing market late. Many people got into the IT industry late. Many people wait. They wait till those who've already made the money have made the money before they get in. It's just like right now, people are getting into real estate, but you're getting in late, depending upon the aspect of it. You got to see where it's already moving or where it's moved to. So I was getting into industries late, even though I got into popcorn early enough. I'm still very early. Because there's no national big player. That's why I got into it. I still should have done it in 2009 when I first thought about it, but I still owned gyms at the time. And I got into the fitness industry late. I got in late. I should have came into that one early. It took me 1.5 years to write a business plan when it should have only taken me 6 months to write that business plan. So I wasted a year, and I should have been in there early before the bubble had burst and many of my clients were not doing personal training anymore. Number 5, pleasing others. This one here has caused me to be in great positions, but then I release my foothold simply because I'm trying to please other people. Now understand, there are people you should please and be concerned about, but then there are other people that you should not be pleasing and nor concerned about. That if you don't take care of yourself, then you won't have the ability to take care of somebody else. So you got to take care of self first. That gives you the ability. And let me give it to you like this. If a man is poor, how can he feed the hungry? He can't feed the hungry if you're poor. But if a man is rich, he can feed the hungry. So you got to be willing to take care of you first. Get your money right. Get your relationship right. Get your mind right. How many times you get out of a relationship and you hear people say, well, I got to get me right before I go into the next relationship. Yet you still go into that relationship and you jack it up. But still, the idea is you have to get to a point where you don't please others. I pleased others so many times to my own detriment. And that's what I realized I had to stop doing. So a few years ago, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago to be exact, I realized that was a folly of mine. So I began to draw away from trying to please others. And it still creeps up. There are people who send me messages, they ask me questions, they want me to engage in long discussions and helping them, but I know it's taken away from my business, that these are business things I got to handle, that the person should be paying me for what I'm doing because other people pay me for it. So I shouldn't, but I'm trying to make sure I don't want to displease them, but I can't do it. I can't worry about that. So pleasing others, that's number 5. Number 4, putting things off. What is the saying? I can't even remember right now. I think Benjamin Franklin wrote it. You know, don't put off today. Don't put off to tomorrow what you can do today. You have to get it done today. There's so many times that in my history that I said that, man, if I started this right now, I need to do this right now. I need to fix this right now. And then 6-8 months later, if I had done it back then, 6-8 months later when I could have used it, when I needed it, it would have been present for me to use it. But now it's 6-8 months later and I don't have it. Now I'm wishing that I had done it 6-8 months ago so that I can have it today. And that has been something that has hurt me so many times in my history that I wait. I say, well, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. Many of you right now are saying, I'm going to get to my credit. I'm going to fix my credit. Not knowing that if you started working on it today, that if you got involved in my financial alchemy program, plug shamelessly, yet you will be able to get it started now, because in 6 months there's going to be an opportunity. In a year there's going to be an opportunity, and you're going to be saying that, dang, if I had fixed my credit a year ago, if I started a year ago with Coach Rand's financial alchemy program and fixed my credit and learned how to build wealth build, if I had done that, if I had been in his wealth building program, and man, here's this tax lien that I would have been able to take advantage of, and I would already have this house, or you got started and you saying that, well, dang, I need some extra money, but if you had already bought like 3-4 tax liens, those houses matured, and now you have those houses rent free, to rent, but no mortgage, or maybe one small fixer mortgage on the 3, then you would already be in a position where now you've gotten fired from your job or laid off from your job, but you got income coming in. And you'll say, man, I wish I would have, should have, could have. So many times I've been late because I put things off. And this one is going to sound similar to another one, but it's slightly different. All right, so that's number 4. Number 3, handle money poorly. There are so many times in my life I've had so much money. They say that, oh, you only get one shot. No, I've had many shots, and you get as many shots as you can. I hit the reset button every time something doesn't work out for me. But I'm going to tell you guys, there have been times where I've made over $200,000 a year and I wasted most of that money. I didn't save as much. Or there's been times where I've had $180,000 in the bank, and yet when it was when I had the opportunity to do something with it, I managed that money poorly. I just figured, oh, another contract is going to come up. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to get another contract. No big deal. And I didn't maximize that opportunity. Then there were other times where I was just freely trying to please people, taking care of other people's households, allowing them to sit around and not do anything and take care of their house, you know, because they fell on hard times. There's nothing wrong with helping people, but I was doing it to my detriment. And even and even at times when things don't seem right and when things are tough for me, I've not handled the money that was in my hands properly. So, and because of that, when other opportunities came, I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't able to do things in the best way, in the best light. So I had to get a hold of handling my money properly. So especially, I've been up and down, doing my 70-10-10-10, not doing it again, not doing it. And then the last like 6 years, it was like straight, just gotta do it. So you have to do it. Even when things get tough, I might have to change the percentages. I do them. I still keep that going in some form or fashion to make sure that I don't fall out of the habit, because we are creatures of habit. And that's gonna be a whole nother video about certainty and uncertainty and rituals and habits that makes up for success in life in every aspect. Think about these in your relationship. If you handle money poorly in your relationship, that is very damaging to the relationship. Most relationships end because of financial issues. So you gotta be able to handle this properly. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 2, like, I know I'm going fast, but I run a business and I got to get to it. Number 2, I made emotional decisions. Even though that pleasing others was part of the emotional decisions, and all of these actually combine it within themselves. But because of my relationships, because I want to have these wonderful, great relationships, I sometimes have made emotional decisions to shut down a business that was thriving simply because I'm trying to please somebody else. But it was an emotional decision, not a logical and emotional combined decision. If you go back, you see my video on getting your heart-mind connection, and there's a additional secret part that I talked about at me and Kevin's event in June. Was that June? Yeah, in June. So making decisions based purely on emotions, most of the time trying to help other people or please other people, not realizing that my decisions cannot be made by emotions. My decision to come to this mall was a strategic and emotional decision. It was a combination of two, not one overriding the other. All decisions that I make now in my life are strategic. The plans that I have for my life right now, the things that I'm moving toward right now, are both emotional and strategic in balance, so that I don't make emotional decisions. There are so many times where I was with a person, I made an emotional decision because I'm trying to please them. There are other times I made an emotional decision because I'm trying to please my brother, or trying to please my sister, or my family, or my children, or somebody like that, when I need to focus on what's going to be pleasing to me. So I made emotional decisions. You cannot make emotional decisions. And number one, I've allowed distractions. Let me give you one of the biggest distractions that I allowed myself to have. When I got divorced in 2008, I had a very successful fitness business. I had a gym and 2 personal training studios. But guess what I was doing? I was trying to date. I was so distracted by dating, so distracted by the different dating sites that I was on, that I wasn't focused on my business, and my business started dwindling, and I didn't even notice it. And by the time I did notice, I was able to pull it back up, but only good enough to be able to sell it. Only good enough to be able to sell it for much less than what I could have sold it if I was focused. I watched other people who had a similar business to mine in the same area continue to thrive, and they're still there today, but they were focused on their business. I allowed too many distractions. That lesson in 2008 taught me. I started getting rid of cable. I started getting rid of watching shows that didn't teach me anything. I don't Facebook just to be doing it. If I don't see anything that teaches me something, business, spiritual, romantic, if I don't see anything relational that teaches me something, I scroll past it. I don't watch it. Many people send me videos and they send me messages, and I'm gonna tell you, 90% of them I don't watch because it's a distraction. People want to debate me on spirituality, but I don't, because it's a distraction. People want to have long discussions about things in that area, but I don't, because it's a distraction. I'm not here to be distracted by you or anybody else. I'm here to help those who want to be helped, help those who follow what I think, help those who want to develop their life, but I cannot be distracted by relationships. I can't be distracted by debates. I can't be distracted by other people's opinions. I can't be distracted by entertainment. You know, I don't care who's doing what. I don't care what Shaq's doing. I don't care what LeBron is doing. I don't care what Denzel's doing. I could care less, because they're not affecting my life. I have to focus on my life. So I eliminate distractions. When I see people who say they want to have something, but they're so distracted by television and Facebook and all these kind of things, when you're so distracted by everything that you're not focused on what you should be doing, I can't deal with you. I can't work with you. Because distractions is the #1 thing that will keep you from being able to do anything. I know that's similar to putting things off, but when things are being put off because you're distracted, it's like a double down on the depth of your dreams, on the depth of what you want to have in your life. So I just wanted to break those 6 things down for you guys. And I want you to be able to take those and apply them to the full quant. All those 5 aspects of your life. See, write them down. Write down how these things are hampering you from being able to complete your dreams, from being able to grow and develop. Write them down. Arguing with people over spirituality is keeping you from developing your own spirituality. Staying in bad relationships and being distracted by the bad relationship is keeping you from developing great relationships. Being distracted by outside things, entertainment, movies, and all that kind of stuff is distracting you from being able to build your business, distracting you from having great relationships, it's distracting you from your health. Focusing in on all the negative things that are happening in your life and then giving all that attention to those things is keeping you from being a great factor in developing your life. So I want you guys to think about that, focus on that, and keep growing in that. And so that you can develop. And join my financial alchemy if you want to do something about your credit and your wealth. And then we'll start having relationship programs and everything else as well. So I love you guys. Continue to grow, continue to develop. Remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself. Why? Because your greatness is non-negotiable.